I'm just making this video today because a lot of people, especially from work, are asking about this pho recipe. It's actually not my recipe, it's family, so I can't take all the credit for it. But people have been asking for it, especially you, Chief. So this video is dedicated to you guys that want to eat some pho. Alright, so what you're going to need to do is get 2 gallons of water. You're gonna need some of this. This isn't required, but it's highly recommended. I think it tastes great with it. Chinese special soup spice. Then you're gonna get your pho seasoning packet. It comes with a cheesecloth bag. Has everything in there: star anise, fennel seeds, a cinnamon stick, and then some bay leaves. You're gonna need your fish sauce. It's a brand I use. You can find this stuff at the Asian market, of course. They all smell rotten, so they're all pretty good, I feel like. Some salt. You can use brown sugar. I use brown sugar because I don't have yellow rock sugar, which is basically a cane sugar. You also get that at the Chinese store as well. Dai Kon, it's a radish. You can find this at the Asian market. Use it about that size. You want it peeled. Kind of keep it whole like this. And of course you want your beef bones. I use oxtail and short ribs. 2 medium onions and some ginger. Right now I'm cleaning them. So I'm cleaning the beef bones. I've got them in high broil. You want to put them in there for 20 minutes, 10 minutes each side. Same thing with the onions. At 10 minutes, just flip them over. But yeah, you want to just get your water going first because then it gives you time to prep everything. If you feel like it's boiling too much, just turn down the heat for now. While we got the stuff broiling, I'm going to make sure you also go over some of the things you're going to need later. Obviously some pho noodles. I usually use this brand. I got some Chinese beef balls for toppings. Also, I got some mint leaves. I like to use scallions. I'll use a sweet onion chopped up. And got some cilantro you can throw in there as well. And I got some bean sprouts. So, it's about 10 minutes for these, so I'm going to pull them out and go ahead and flip them. Flip these over. I'm going to at least get 6 ounces of ginger. I'm going to cube them up like this. Nice. Flip these. Alright, these are all flipped. Put these back in there for another 10 minutes. Remember, you want to keep your broil on high, so the onions, ginger, and the beef is almost done broiling. So what we'll do in the meantime is we'll grab our pho spice seasoning. What you want to do is throw them in a little frying pan. And you want to turn the stove on to low heat and kind of sift them around for a minute or two. And what this does is it helps bring all the flavor of these spices out. Alright, once that's done, turn off the stove. And what we're going to do is grab our little cheesecloth bag. I'm going to throw everything in there. And you'll know it's done is when you distinctively smell all the spices coming out. So definitely brings the flavor of these spices out before you throw it into the water to make the broth. And you want to make sure, once you have everything in there, make sure you tie it up pretty good. You don't want any of it to come out while it's sitting in the broth for quite some time. Alright, now water's boiling pretty good. We'll go ahead and throw that in there. Grab our Chinese spice bag. They usually come in a pack of 2. Go ahead and throw that in there as well. And since the onions, ginger, and the beef bones are done, we'll go ahead and pull those out and we'll throw those inside the pot. These tongs are terrible. Throw all the beef bones in there. The oxtail. These are gonna get super tender when they sit in broth all day. Just so you know. Alright, throw the ginger in there. Oy. Make sure you get a big pot, because then it doesn't overflow like that. Since I forgot to heat up the bay leaves with the pho seasoning and put it in the cheesecloth bag, I'm just going to throw them in there. Half cup of fish sauce goes in. Two tablespoons of salt, sugar, ooh, know how much room I've got here. Yikes. So, I still gotta throw this in there. And I've got no room. So what I'm gonna do is I may slice it up or not use it at all. I don't know, haven't really decided. So I decided not to use the Dai Kon only because I literally have no room here. So after you get everything thrown into the pot and it's pretty hot, just about almost boiling, just go ahead and turn it down to low or simmer, and then that's pretty much it. That's the waiting game. Oh shit, yeah, see? Right. So you want to at least let that sit for 8 hours, but honestly, the longer you let it sit, the better it's going to taste. I'm actually on shift tomorrow, so I'm going to take some of this broth with me to work tomorrow. Currently right now it's 2 o'clock. I get up at 5:30, and I'm usually out of the house by 4:45, or I'm sorry, 5:45 in the morning, so it's gonna taste really good. While your pot of pho is sitting on the stove, kind of go back and kind of check to kind of pick out some scum that may be in here. I mean, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you look. You can see some nasty looking particles floating around, so you know, just periodically come back and try to scoop that stuff out. Right now, since I just put it down to simmer, there's nothing right now, but I'll probably come back later and you know, do some scum catching. So I actually ended up cutting the Dai Kon in half and kind of slowly put it in there. I put 1/2 in there already just to see what I can get away with. I'm kind of scared. Alright, cool. So I brought the broth to work today, and after you've let all the ingredients sit in the broth for quite some time, I actually put it on there yesterday afternoon at 2 o'clock, and now it's currently 5 o'clock today, the next day, and it's still sitting here. Right before you're ready to eat it, you want to take all the ingredients out, all the meat, the onions, and the ginger, the Dai Kon that was sitting in it, and pull it all of it out, and all you want in the pot is the broth. Today we actually went to the store and I cut up chuck roast for for toppings later in the bowl. That's why it looks a little cloudy. But we're actually going to use that in our bowls today. So about an hour before you eat, you want to go ahead and soak these in a bowl of water to kind of soften them up before you boil them up. Go ahead and fill this up with some water. Next, I'm going to take my Chinese meatballs and I'm going to cut them in half. This is for the toppings later whenever we get ready to eat. You can keep them whole or you can cut them in half, whichever way you prefer. I personally like to eat them in half.
Rescue 80. Sick person, 1255 West
I know I'm using a fillet knife,
K,
but whatever.
Alpha 3. Rescue 80.
Alright, as we're getting our water boiled for the noodles, they've been drained. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just gonna get a handful of these, right? However much you think you're gonna eat, just drop them in the pot, boil. Thanks. Wait. Now, right before you're ready to eat, go ahead and boil your noodles. And the trick is you don't want to cook these until they're tender. You want to go ahead and strain them right before they're fully cooked because the broth is going to go ahead and cook the rest of it. Alright, then I'll take you a little bit of lime, squeeze you a slice in there. Perfect. These are toppings I like to use. You don't have to necessarily use them. I got bean sprouts, some cilantro. Just crush it all up, whatever. Use some Sriracha if you love some spice for sure. Hoisin sauce, this is a big one. Start off with a little bit at first, and if you feel like it needs more flavor, go ahead and add a little more. Usually, add that about that much right there. Then I got some onions, some mint leaves, and some scallions. Boom. And that is your bowl of pho.